Let's say you're Charlie. You've got a lump sum of money and you want to continue funding the policy after moving the lump sum into the policy. You might want to continue to add money after the fact. You don't know. We get this quite a bit. Here's what I would do in this particular case. I would show different options because if I'm Charlie here, if you and I flip positions, I don't want to just be told, well, this is the option to do. I would appreciate that, but at the same time, I like to see the different options there. Can you show me the what if scenario? Like, what if I have another lump sum in the future? Or what if my cash flow continues to come in because it has been thus far, and I want to keep adding it to the policy? What do things look like? So what I would look at first is the same limited pay scenario. Let's assume I've got a lump sum of $500,000. First, I would show what it looks like if I move that $500,000 into the policy and don't pay another penny into it. But then what I would look at with the same limited pay products is what does it look like if I continue to fund it at the max? What does it look like if I pay just the premium? Perhaps it's a moderate amount. So if this $500K per year, not $500K per year, sorry, $500K total over 5 years, which comes out to what? $100K per year. What does it look like? 5 years of $100,000 per year and then stopping and then continuing to pay $100K per year or just a reduced amount. So let me demonstrate that because that can be a little bit confusing. I don't think I explained it that great. Let's do it again, but with visuals here. So what we've got here is the comparison sheet. So here we see on the left the 10-pay policy and also the high early cash value policy with MassMutual. Then on the right, you see the 15-pay policy with Guardian, and that's actually the same policy, but we have both the dividend and indexed option. So assume you're Charlie, you're looking at $500,000 going into a policy. Here we go. Over 5 years is what we decide to do, what you decide to do after seeing the different options. For a 40-year-old, this would make more sense to do it at about $125 per year for 4 years, but this still looks good. 10-pay policy, high early cash value policy, and the 15-pay with the basic dividend, and the 15-pay with the indexed rider. So here is $500,000 going into a policy, the internal rates of return based on the non-guaranteed values, which will change over time. If you've seen the video where we go through the 4 major mutuals, you can literally close your eyes, pick one of them out of a hat, and you cannot go wrong with any of them. In my opinion, well, based off the facts and data we have, is really where I base that statement on. But break-even points, similar between years 4 and 5 with all of these because they are all designed for maximum cash value. Got the internal rates of return, all that fun stuff. But again, this is Charlie, and you've got the what if I want to keep adding money to the policy. Well, what does it look like? Well, to show some different options here we go. First, we can look at the 10-pay policy. So, like the comparison sheet, this is the MassMutual 10-pay policy. What do you notice here? First 5 years is identical because this is the same illustration that was on that comparison spreadsheet or that comparison sheet. In fact, if we were to look at the actual illustration here, and there you go. 10K base premium, got our riders attached for flexibility and to prevent the mech. There's your cash value in the first year. There's your break even. Year 4, I've got 401 and change. This will match the Excel spreadsheet because this is the detailed illustration. MEC limit, bottom right-hand corner for funding it for 5 years, 7 years or less. You can just fund right up to the MEC limit. We really don't need that much more space, minimum expenses. If you want to go longer, might build some more space. 5 years. Charlie says, well, what's it look like if I keep going? 100K for 7 years instead of just 5. So same thing, by year 5, you've got 516 in both scenarios, but the only difference here is you put another 200 grand in, 100K per year, you fund up to the MEC limit. What if things go even better and I want to fund it for 10 years and I keep going at 100 grand per year? Fantastic. And then the cash value just continues to appreciate over time. Now, while this is all well and good, we've got how much going in here? $100,000 per year. Not everybody likes this. Or in our discussions, you might say, all right, thanks for showing me that, but after I get the lump sum in, Steve, realistically, I'm not going to pay 100 grand per year in. It might be a reduced amount. Can you show me what it looks like if I paid in a lower dollar amount? Well, the answer is yes. So we've got the lump sum scenario, L95 compared to the 15. Now, when I look at the right, if Charlie says, I want to keep funding it, here's one option, 15 pay policy. After the 100K per year, he funds 30K per year. So he continues to fund it at a decent amount. The base premium's under $10,000 in this example. It's $9,000 and change. But we kept funding it at 30K per year. Then we showed an option with an L95. We can illustrate it at 30 going in for the same period of time. But what does it look like if I just paid in 10K per year? What does my overall value look like if I decide to keep feeding it? And we can do it forever, stop at 65, whatever I decide to do. I just want the option to adjust as the years pass. I don't know right now. What I do know is I can do this, but I want the option to continue to do this or that. Point is, you can see this up front, and this often helps people see it and say, okay, this is a yes. This, I don't know if I'm really comfortable about 30K. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. If I find myself wanting to pay in more, I'll just open up a new policy. This, no, Steve, I know I told you I might want to stop after 5 years, but I think I like this. Maybe I still will stop after 5 years, but I want the option to keep going. Let's go with that L95. Point is, you get to see the different options, kind of like everything's on Amazon, and pick the product that you like the most. All right, this stuff is fun, isn't it? Let's keep going here. So, limited pay, lump sum, and you want to continue to pay into it. Limited pay product, a high early cash value product, that is a good option. A hybrid whole life, that's that L95 we just looked at there. So, side note here, limited pay products will produce the strongest internal rate of return. So the question I would ask here is, this is for you personally, do you feel that you may want to fund the policy longer than 10 to 15 years, or perhaps until a certain age? If the answer is yes, then a limited pay product might not be the direction to go. The reason why is if I go with a 10 pay, for example, and cannot pay into it after 10 years, and I have a health issue or something pop up, I might be limited in getting a new policy. Now, you might be comfortable taking on that risk. You say, hey, I like the policies that produce the strongest overall results. I want a 10 pay, then I want a 15 pay. Maybe I'll fund them both for the maximum time period. That's a total of 25 years. If I go 10 years and then 15 years, that's what I want to do. Or maybe it's 5 years, however you do it. But if you said, I don't want to have to start a new policy, I don't have to go through underwriting again, I don't want to have to potentially get declined or have a health issue pop up that restricts everything, can I just take out one policy and continue to fund that at the highest level for a long period of time? The answer is yes, you can do that. And that's where we start to look at different products, not like a 10 or 15 pay, but more like a high early cash value policy, a traditional policy, a L95, the hybrid product where you can max fund it initially and then cool off a bit. My point is we'd want to see the different options, see them up front, and then select. And it's not super hard. It can seem overwhelming, but really at the end of the day, where most people refine their decision-making process is like this. We've got 3 options here. 10 pay with Mass, a high early cash value with Mass Mutual, and then a Guardian 15 pay product. As a potential 4th option, we might look at that L95 with Guardian, that hybrid policy. So 3, 4 options max. And then from this point forward, as you start to narrow things down, the additional alternative scenarios utilize these same products, just showing you what it looks like if you decide to change your funding amount, change your funding time period. Take the high early cash value, for example. There's the 5-year funding sample. Here's the same thing for 15 years, and here's the same thing for 30 years. The exact same policy. So this is really what we like to do, just showing the different what-if scenarios with the 3 to 4 options that we show you. And we can do this with one option as well. Sometimes people like to see that. We get this quite a bit. I like the 10 pay because I want the maximum internal rate of return, and I like the idea of not making payments beyond 10 years. I might even stop it after 3 or 4 years. But show me the different what-if scenarios. 100K for 5 years, then 7 and 10. Then what's it look like if I pay just 10K per year after 5 years? Maybe I bounce payments up and down. We can do it with one product as well, just to keep things simple. As a weakness, one of the many weaknesses I have, a weakness I've discovered over the years, is sometimes I go a bit crazy because I like the stuff so much as far as all the different options. It's like, okay, slow down, Steve. Just show the 3 or 4 options that most people gravitate toward. And if people like to see more, show them more, which if you're already working with us and you like to see the options, you know we like to show the options as well. I do at least. So I hope this one was helpful, just adding some talking points here when it comes to how much should I fund a policy with and how long should I fund a policy with. Really, it is up to you, but how I like to help someone make a decision is by taking them through the same process that I'd want to go through. Let me see a couple different products and show me what it looks like if I pay a lump sum in for a number of years and then stop, compared to the same policy where I keep going for a period of time. Because I don't know what I want to do right now. I can't predict the future. Or show me just a lump sum going into a policy up until the age of 50. I'm 45 right now, and then I'm done, Steve. I better not get any more bills after that. We get people like that as well. And that's perfectly fine. We like to show all the options and have fun with it. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, if you are working with us, let us know if you'd like to see some additional options or if what you have seen thus far is consistent with the material here. And if you're not working with us, we'd love to work with you. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Steve Parisi here. If you enjoyed the content you just saw, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future videos. If you'd like more information or to see some custom policies for yourself, feel free to call or email our offices at the contact information below.